Don't look under the internet.
Yeah.
Not necessarily that exactly, but yeah. Is there anybody out there on making content? Like,
can we start Science Theater 3000 porn?
You get what I'm saying?
Can there be a Corridor Crew channel and they do VFX for porn?
Exactly. This is what I'm talking about. And if not, I think we found a wide open opportunity.
Niche.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Should we just start re-uploading the podcast to Pornhub?
To Pornhub? Honestly.
I mean, could we that'd be really funny to see if we just started getting money all of a sudden.
Right.
What if we made I would honestly think that we'd make more money just uploading our shit to Pornhub.
Yeah.
I mean, I think advertising has more money in porn anyway.
Yeah, and also I'm tired of. At least we won't be fucked by YouTube. It'll be appropriate.
Be appropriate.
I need my 3 to 5 cents an episode. Though,
I'll re-upload the podcast with the audio unchanged, but in Mike's video square, it'll just be a pair of titties, and Jason's will just be a big old dick,
just jiggling.
Yeah,
just a big jiggly cock.
Just four videos going. Yeah. Like it's a sports bar, but for porn.
Buffalo Wild Wings of
backdoor slip 9 up in the top left corner, and yeah. All right, cool. Bet.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Don't Look Under the Internet. The next big thing on Pornhub. Just keep watching. We're gonna be on there. That's Matt over there.
Craig.
That's Doug.
It is. I am here. Yeah.
That's Jason.
No, it's not.
And I'm Mike. We're all gonna be on Pornhub soon, but not for reasons you think. Other things.
For weirder.
Not for all the reasons you think. Maybe some of them.
Maybe
some of them.
Join us on our Patreon where we review all types of pornos together. We watch them. All of us sit fully bricked in the same room and we don't talk about it.
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to put on a gay porno and we're all going to take some Viagra. And the first one to get a boner loses.
I don't need the Viagra, son. I'm a man.
Mike is an erotic empath.
You know what? Let me tell you this.
Boners when other people get boners.
Let me tell you this. First and foremost, we don't have any housekeeping, unfortunately. But let me tell you.
That's why we've talked about.
You ever seen those sissy hypno videos? We should just review those. Okay. Maybe this says something more about me than it does anything else.
I think so.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, boys.
A lot about each other today.
I won't even be as hard as a brick. I'll be as hard as an obelisk, dog. Straight up.
Whoa! The fucking bird scooter. It might have square wheels and it might not be good to look at, but it has brought us here.
It doesn't.
If it looks
an erect handlebar.
I'm going off the tried and true. If it looks stupid but works, it's not stupid.
It ain't stupid.
Yep. I look stupid when I work sometimes. Does that make me not stupid?
Partially.
By Mike's logic, I guess.
We're talking about today a YouTube channel, not porno. We're talking about a YouTube channel called Obelisk, or I guess it's called Lizardmen Inc. But we're talking about the series called Obelisk. Now I know what you're thinking. Boys, aren't you a little late given the fact that this comes out a week after recording? And Nightmind already put out a video. Yes, we're aware. Because yesterday, when Doug and I were looking for a topic, Doug's like, look at this really cool thing. And I'm like, that does look really cool. And then 2 minutes later, I just hear Doug go, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I'm like, what, buddy? It's like Nightmind just posted a video and you'll never guess on what.
I'm not even kidding. Like,
Nightmind's stealing our content so hard, he's just listening.
It was uncanny. I was like, literally, me and Mike were talking, and I was like, let's do this. And he's like, oh, that's good. And I was like, okay, here's the outline, blah, blah, blah. And literally an hour later, I'm like, well, Nightmind just uploaded a video about this.
Yep. So here's the thing.
Spot on.
like Matt said, I am fully under the impression Nightmine has bugged my room. This is not the first time this has happened, and it's not going to be the last. I'm still upset about fucking Bosco Park. I talked about that shit. It got no one gave it a rat's ass, and then here his ass is uploaded, and everyone's like, "This is the coolest fucking thing ever." I know. I talked about it. I know. But no. It's only cool if he does it. Only cool if he does it. It's okay, Nightmine. You're cool, I guess.
Hit us up, dog.
Hit us up, dog. I actually love you.
Can we review Nightmine's furry porn on the Pornhub channel?
Yeah.
Dang. Hell yeah.
That's that shit. We're gonna Mystery Science Theater 3000 Nightmine's furry porn.
Hell yeah, dude.
Next question: has anybody broken into the analog pornography genre yet?
Ooh, analog horror.
Analog horror. There you go.
It was right there.
I mean, I did title our outline Obelisk Anal Horror.
Yeah.
I think that was.
We're on to so many ideas.
God, we
is everyone writing these down?
I swear to God, if next week when this comes out,
it'll be on video.
I swear, next week this comes out and I see fucking a Nightmine Pornhub channel, I'm gonna lose my fucking shit.
Why are you saying that next week we're gonna have a DLUTI Pornhub channel?
Maybe. You don't know what I'm gonna do. I have a week.
Let's an email come into our Gmail that just says, "Thanks for signing up to Pornhub."
Guys, I need can someone give me that 6-digit code, please? Thank you.
Verify your identity.
Yeah.
You can't even access those things in Florida, so it's all up to you guys.
That's the now. Well, you can now. Thanks for a sponsor. Fuck VPN. There you go.
VPN. Crank your hog in the privacy of your own home.
Yeah.
While no one's
anyway.
watching.
Let's get into the channel that is Lizardmen Inc. The story of Obelisk. Where do we start? But the beginning.
Well, let's start before the beginning. Actually,
sure.
So, yeah, like Mike said, this is a channel called Lizardmen Inc. And if you just go to the YouTube channel, the first thing you're actually going to see is a Skibbity Toilet analog horror animation.
Really putting a date on this.
It is from 2 years ago, and it's basically exactly what you would expect it to be. It's just somebody walking through a house, and then there's a creepy thing in the toilet that comes out and attacks them. But this does kind of set the tone of what the rest of this channel is like. This person describes themselves as a visual effects artist, and most of the videos are like a 3D Blender found footage handheld camera style thing, like you've probably seen before in like backrooms videos and things like that. Yeah. But the first one that's actually in this series of videos is called Obelisk, My New Friend. And we start the video with some text on the screen that says, the person that's recording this has found a new friend and asks the viewer if they want to meet them. And then we get a shot of their closet, and it's like an old-timey closet with like the little slats in the middle. It's like a handheld VHS filter. Again, we're told that their friend is in the closet. And so they go and get closer to the closet, and they check it out. And it turns out friend is not in the closet. And they're like, well, where'd he go? So they go wandering around the house. And then we cut to the living room, and they're watching TV. And we find out that sometimes friend visits and watches TV with them. And now he's here. So he picks up the camera. You can hear some clunking going around in the house in the background. And he walks around a bit and then sticks the camera up the stairs and says, he's here. Can you see him? And then it suddenly jump cuts to the bedroom again. And friend is in the closet now. And I don't know how to describe this thing other than a gigantic bird with a humanoid face wearing a black hoodie. And
that's pretty fucking accurate.
That's kind of it. That's friend. He's in the closet. The next video on the channel, in which I'm not actually sure that this is part of the series, is just called Preventing Home Invasions. It's a VHS public service announcement thing that just tells you what to do during a home invasion. Yeah, during a home invasion. So we are told that home invasions are rare, but they keep that are more likely to happen to those who are unprepared. And then it just kind of goes through some things, some tips to keep in mind about avoiding home invasions. Securing all your entrances, pretty obvious. If you see or hear a home intruder, evacuate immediately if possible. It is impossible to know if an intruder's intentions or if they're armed or not. And then, I think there's like 5 of these tips. It's pretty straightforward. And that's kind of just what that is. But the next one, we dive back into the world of the Obelisk.
Woo!
Also, Doug, I can hear myself through your headphones.
I'm not sure what the fuck is going on.
I was just messaging him about it, trying not to
turn my
interrupt.
headphones down.
Mike's being professional about it.
Yeah, usually he's meta as fuck.
He's like, "Hey, dickhead, your fucking shit is fucked."
I turned my mic and my headphones down, so I'm not sure if it'll happen anymore, but
okay,
I'll monitor my little box. Maybe you should just shut the fuck up, huh, Matt? Huh?
Well, I was done anyway, so.
You ever thought about not talking to him?
Yeah,
you ever just
stop.
Thought about maybe not doing your part?
I'll stop.
Are you done?
Bye.
Yeah. Are you fucking done talking?
He just leaves and just shuts down the whole recording.
Like, all right, fine. I guess I'll go. So after we get that weird little intermission almost, we go to a video called "You're Almost Gone." It's a quick little 1-minute video, and it just shows like the ground level of a hallway, and there's a door, and it kind of starts opening a little bit. On the other side, you see something kind of like step through or kind of appear through. At one point it blocks it, like censors the face of whatever's coming through. You can tell that its arms are really fucking long because they almost touch the floor. And then it cuts to another shot and we get a door that looks like it leads into the house, but the door looks like it's standing like Monsters Inc. Like like a random door that they just put in a thing and you open it up and it leads into this fucking house. We get another shot of just like this weird, like it's like no skin, muscly legs that are just standing on a forest floor. And
it looks a little bit like Siren Head. I got that vibe from it.
See,
yeah, without the
someone
siren.
actually said that in the comments.
It looked like Head.
So someone said that in the comments, and they go, "Someone asked me if this looks like Siren Head, and I'm wondering if it's okay to just kill them now, or should I just let life take care of that later?" Like, damn.
So you're
someone
saying
does not like Siren
Head. They didn't like that comment.
I don't think they like Siren Head. But I was like, I think this video is just kind of supposed to illustrate that at least this door in this house is something that leads to other places. Like this house might not be everything that it seems, and it kind of gave me like a House of Leaves vibe. If House of Leaves were made into like an analog horror, I guess. Just because like it seems like the inside of this house is a little bit bigger. You got portals to other like places, just that are doors. It's fucking weird. And also there's all these terrifying entities that inhabit whatever this other space might be.
Very back rooms.
Oh, very incredibly back rooms. Yeah. It's I love
it's
back
like
rooms.
The epitome. It's got like upside down tables and shit like that. Like it's very backrooms-esque.
So after that one, that's the end of that one. The next one we get is called In Your Home. Now, this one, it starts and you just see like a shot of, again, inside the same house that we were just looking at. We see a chair that's like propped against the door. Light flicks on, and there's text that comes up that says check on Abby. And so this is kind of almost like this reminds me of a point and click game where like you have to click away things, open doors, because it's all like you click it and it's like instantaneously gone. And so whoever's doing this takes the chair away from the door, walks out of whatever door it's propped against, and walks down the hall, which is a really weird hallway that it's just like 2 really long hallways with 2 doors, one at either end.
I also enjoyed that the previous videos went from like that, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like Unreal Engine-esque looking, like back rooms, like game vibe to
like,
this looks.
It went from like found footage to like
like
Myst.
early '90s computer games.
Yeah, Riven, Myst,
Drowned God.
Yeah, like it looks like some old ass puzzle point and click game.
I love it.
So whoever is behind the camera walks down this hallway in this like stop motion old 90s point and click puzzle game fashion. And by the way, while this is all happening, you can hear like you can't tell exactly what it is at first, but you figure it out soon enough once you approach the door at the end of the hall. It's like this whining, it's like this high pitched, just weird noise. It sounds like it's either a baby fussing, a high pitched woman orgasming, or somebody getting milk delivered. I can't tell which one it is. But the next shot does clear it up just a bit.
All those things sound the same to you, huh?
Yeah. Someone getting milk.
Take a walk in my shoes, Mike. So we get to the end of this hallway and we open the door and we go inside and we see a crib. Now, when I first saw this, I go, cool. Abby is probably the child.
Welcome to my crib. It's haunted by a guy.
I think Abby's a baby. Now, if you'll remember, one of the first things this individual had to do was take down the barricade from their door and then go to where the baby is.
That's diabolical, bro.
That is a wild thing for any parent to do. That's
giving Mike energy.
As the resident parent, I've done worse.
Dang.
Have you ever heard of an iron coffin?
Sometimes you put the chair against her door so I can't enter the room. You know, this is how it is sometimes.
So we get to this room with a crib and we look into the crib and the crib is empty. However, we still hear these like baby noises. And obviously confirmed at this point, the noises you're hearing down the hall is the baby fussing or whatever. We see this crib that's empty and you go, oh shit, the baby's gone. Pans back out to the full shot of the room. And we see this door, we assume leads to a closet. And in it, we see this really like, this face looks like they just spent the last week making the most delicious meal or the most delicious cake of their life. And their face looks like someone just in front of them threw the cake on the ground. Just very upsetting, but it does have a jester's hat, which is good.
This face is different from the original face that we saw too.
Oh yes, that is separated. Yes, this is a very, very different face. Whereas the first one, it had almost like a really wide black, like sunken eyes.
If anybody's familiar with the cover of Court of Owls, the Batman novel or like graphic novel, that's what the face looks like from the original guy.
I was gonna say it looked like what's that creepypasta I was going around of like the lady that like she kind of looked at the ring, but her face was all fucked up, and it was like, oh, if you say her name a couple times, she'll come and get you or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? It was like 4 years ago. No. Okay. No. Hopefully someone in the chat knows what I'm talking about. And it was like you scroll across her. No, it was like you scroll across on your phone or whatever, and you're cursed or some shit. And
Momo?
Momo, that's the one. It's Momo.
Oh, Momo. Holy fuck.
Kind of looked like Momo to me a little bit. Or it looked like when Sasuke fights Orochimaru in Naruto Shippuden, and Orochimaru goes into his white snake form. He's got his white snake face. He's big, made up of a bunch of different white snakes. And then Sasuke's like, I'm gonna use Mugen Jutsu on you, but he's not gonna use his Mangekyo Sharingan because he doesn't have that at this point. But then Orochimaru's like, oh, I'm gonna die here, aren't I? Kind of like that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't say.
Yeah,
very good, Mike.
That was in the beginning of Shippuden. That was before Naruto was able to find him, when they were still in Orochimaru's hideout. Before Orochimaru got his arms fixed.
That was
because
before
the third Hokage, Hiruzen, he sealed away his ability to use jutsu, so he could use his arms.
Matt, can you fast forward this part when you edit the video?
1.5 to 2, yeah. So after we see that this baby gets stolen by a very sad looking jet.
Gets stealed, loser.
That baby's stealing.
Baby stealing.
Get the stealing.
We get it's almost like a security cam footage, black and white. It's a different angle. And it says in text on the bottom, typed out, says the doors were locked. That's assuming that this individual has no fucking idea how this jester-headed, sad-faced piece of shit got into their house. Going back to the last video I talked about, I think we kind of know how this thing got in the house. As long as you have your critical thinking skills tuned and turned on.
I don't.
They walked
Good.
in.
That's how we like you. Yeah, they just walked in.
on
He
in.
turned the knob and came inside.
And came.
Turned the knob and came.
That is the end of the In Your Home video. And it introduces us to the fact that there are multiple things that might have access to this individual's house. There's a baby named Abby, and now the baby named Abby is gone.
Yeah, so I guess right now we have 3 different creatures per se.
Oh, yes.
But we have no idea their names, what they are.
There's Monkey Dude, there's Pale Grimace, and there's the Sad Jester.
Yeah. So that leads us to video 5, which is the house with no windows. So the video starts and we see this big yellow house, and they mention that they've recently found a house that looks abandoned, and there are no other houses built around it, and it's seemingly in the middle of nowhere. There's no windows, no doors. It's big, tall, weird shaped, and yellow, and it looks like there's no way inside at all. As this person is inspecting the house, they do notice a small hole that's covered up by like a board that looks to be an entrance into the crawl space. So whoever's filming right now, or narrator, whatever you want to call them, they very clearly want to go inside of the house, and we end up seeing them crawl in, and then we get the following. So they're kind of like crawling through the crawl space, and it's very nicely rendered, I will say, for the visual graphics that they have.
Yeah.
But they're just like looking at the ground essentially and crawling towards the back of this crawl space. But they see a way inside the home. There's like a little square up on the boards, and they end up going inside of it. They mention that after they get into the home, that it smells like burnt matches inside of that. The walls are all yellow, just like the outside of the building. And you see them walk down this hallway, and they come into what is, I would assume, is a dining area, but there's a kitchen table on the ceiling of the room, and we see 3 chairs. And if you look really closely during this little part, you'll actually see a door on the wall. It's super fucking faint, but you can like see it kind of. It comes like in and out of like view almost, like it's like painted on possibly. I'm not really sure. But there's like, they don't really acknowledge it or anything like that. But it does. The 3 chairs thing I think is interesting because it means that there's 3 people in the house, assumedly. Which we can talk about what that means later.
I have 6 chairs in my tables. Does that mean there's 5 other people in my house I don't know about?
I mean, don't you? I mean, yeah, you're schizophrenic, right?
That's you, me, Dupree, the Skibbity toilet monster.
Marley.
No.
Marley.
Marley.
So yeah. Anyways, so there's a lot of slow walking down hallways in this video, and they come down to another door, and the door is like weirdly fucking tall, and they actually mention it. They're like, this door is so tall. But yeah, it's like this weird long ass door, good for fitting long boys in, and yeah, they go through the door, and there's some like lights on inside this hallway, and which is kind of strange because like I don't know, the house that they're in is giving very like back rooms vibes. Actually, if you guys have seen Skinamarink, it's giving big Skinamarink vibes.
Yeah.
Very weird liminal house vibes. But yeah, so tall door, they go inside. It's again just kind of random hallways leading to God knows where, and they're kind of looking around, and all of a sudden you see this fucking head kind of come out from one of the hallways, and the head is very familiar. It looks just like the face from the first video. But this time it doesn't seem to have a body. It looks like kind of just a floating head version of itself. So they kind of don't acknowledge it at all, and they end up walking down the hallway a bit more, and they come across a room with some like random art in it, some chairs, a desk inside. And once they enter the room, they see this sign on the wall, and it's sort of out of focus right off the bat, but they end up getting closer to it, and the sign says, "Be still and know that I am God." And for those of you who are Bible bumpers, Psalms 46:10 is what that is. It's a saying in the Bible.
I think
It's
wasn't
very
that in
creepy though.
wasn't that in the boiled one as well when the guy was laying in the bed? Wasn't that like the sign above his bed or some shit? Okay.
I don't know. You're making me think a lot harder than I have to right now. But it's possible that was a boiled peanut. So yeah, so they start exploring the hallways more of the house. We see the narrator's shadow confirming that this is a normal human being. And as they are walking, they end up going up to the staircase. The staircase leads to like what looks like pitch black, but you can kind of tell that it's just stairs to a ceiling, which was giving really, really, really heavy Winchester Mansion vibes. He then finds another door leading down the hallway, and it's kind of like halfway up the wall, so like you could walk up to it, but the door is all the way up, and you can't access it. So yeah, so after we see that door, it cuts again to like a slow-mo version of that floating head, and we see the words "I know your face" and "What are you?" are put on the screen. And that's kind of where the video ends. We get kind of a clearer face. And one thing I wanted to point out too is that the words that are on screen typically from the narrator seem to be white, but now we have this red text on the screen. So I'm not sure, like right now we can infer what that means, but we'll be able to later on in some of the other videos. So that's video 5. Video 6 is called "Why Do You Keep Us Here?" And this honestly goes really hand in hand with Jason's video, video 4. But it's a strange video, as all of these are. But basically, it opens up with a cemetery. And as we're looking at the cemetery, we get some text on the screen that says, "She is here somewhere." The camera looks around, and it's very point and click style. Like
I love it.
Yeah, it's like very like click here and look over there, click here, I walk over here, like exactly that, what you think it is. Doors open, you're inside the cemetery, and they slowly make their way over to the back of the cemetery, and they walk up to what looks like a crib, and this crib has a big ass fucking caterpillar inside of it.
Something you expect.
Yeah, it's not quite what I was expecting when I first watched it, but it's pretty clear here that whoever's eyes we're looking through isn't the person from the last video. We see a shadow come over the crib of the caterpillar that looks like the head of the jester man thing that we saw in the 4th video. And we see that it says, "You are not how I remember you, Abby." We get
even
the
this
name
guy's
Abby.
like, "You're a caterpillar now, Abby."
Yeah.
What happened?
So we cut to back inside of the house where that original video takes place, where we see the pointy head guy jump scaring us. And we can assume now that this is Abby's room or whatever. We see a bit of blood on the floor, which I don't really have any idea why that's there. There's really nothing that concretely tells me what that is. I can infer what I think might have happened.
I have a
think it's safe to
hypotenuse
say
about it.
I think when I was watching it, I assumed that blood is there because we have to assume that maybe the baby got the axe. You know what I'm saying? And Mike, you might want to close your ears for that. I should have said that before. Trigger warning, baby death or something.
You honestly scared the shit out of me because I moved to the next section of the video where the face is sticking out of the doorway, and you screamed at exactly the same time. Scared the ever living shit out of me.
That's obviously that's great. That's good stuff. So yeah, we see Abby's room with some blood, and then on the screen it says, "Why do you keep me here? I can't stay here." And then we cut to a few random shots of some different rooms, kind of like the path leading from where the person unbarricaded themselves. And then we see a room with the pointy head guy again. I did want to note that the inside of this place looks a lot like the yellow house from the last video. So it's kind of strange that we're this David or this guy's house. I just totally spoiled the guy's name.
You dumb bitch.
You can bleep that in post. This guy, his house looks an awful lot like the yellow house that we saw in the last video. Whoops.
Sit in stew. Think about what you did here today.
Doug knows too much.
I don't know anything. Okay, so yeah, we hear it's a Small World playing, but like if it's from like a music box, and some crying begins to be going. There's like a bunch of crying going on in the background. And I want to say that it's the weird jester guy for some reason. Like I feel like the noises are so like unnerving that like it doesn't sound like just a baby crying, but that's just me. Says, "Please forgive me." That flashes on the screen, and then the video ends. I think it's safe to say here that we can kind of infer that the narrator has left Abby alone. They thought everything was locked. They clearly knew there was something watching the house. The entity saw the house, got in through magic door or whatever you want to call it. The entity also saw Abby as a caterpillar. I don't know if this is like a something to do with like the death of Abby or something like that, but I guess that's up for interpretation as well. But yeah, there's a lot that I think we can kind of put together now that I think these things have access to houses via doors wherever they want.
I think that's most people. Most people have access to houses via door.
Yeah, but not magic door. They don't have magic door.
We don't have magic door. You're right. I wish I had magic door. Then I'd be in Narnia.
Door. We have goon door, but not magic door.
Is it my turn now?
But
Are you done talking so I can actually start doing and paying attention things?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm done.
Hell yeah. We're going to take this bitch over to fucking Muppet Town real quick. So we're going to talk about the next video called You've Come. Yeah, it's called You've Come Back. Takes a bit of a
Don't hug me,
different.
I'm scared vibes.
Yeah, a bit of a different approach here. It's these two birds that look like Big Bird, and I'm not exaggerating much at all. They look like there's a blue one, there's like a brown one, and they look like a bigger bird. The blue one's sitting on the couch, and there's an empty fishbowl, and they're looking a little down in the dumps. And the brown one's like, "Hey, what's up?" And the blue one's just like, "I've had Goldie, my goldfish, for so long, and I had to bury him today. Kind of sad about it. Where do you think he is?" And the brown one's like, "I don't know, man. There's a lot of religions and people that think that when something dies, a little part of them comes back, and it's still with you all this time." And then there's knock at the door. And for some reason, it lets you know how many times they're knocked. I don't know if this is supposed to mean something, but it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and like the numbers show up on the door, and then it does it again up to 10. I don't know if that's supposed to be like a play on how like Sesame Street they do that, where they're like 1 and 2, 3, and like the numbers show or something. Yeah.
Also,
but
the clock on the wall is like the opposite colors of the clock from Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. I wonder if that's a small nod.
It's probably a reference, I would imagine.
I'm almost positive this is a nod to Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared.
And one thing I want to tout real quick.
It's even got the pigeon.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a butterfly.
So, yeah. So they hear the knock at the door. The brown one goes to open the door, and they're like, "Who's out there?" He's looking outside. There's no one there. And then a butterfly, a big old butterfly, just starts flapping its wings, and it just goes into the room, and it's like, oh, it's a butterfly, and just ends.
We're gonna hear about love now.
Yeah, it just ends. But a couple things I want to point out. First and foremost, I know this is still done in like Blender or whatever, but it does give off that really good vibe of like this is like a sort of claymation, like Sesame Street. Like they nailed it really well, like the aesthetic. Like there's little subtle things like when they have like the focus shot of the fishbowl, it looks identical to like a little fishbowl that I bought for like Amelia's Barbie's dolls or something like that. Like it looks like a little plastic thing. So I think they kind of nailed it aesthetic wise. Secondly, I think they're kind of nailing on the head a little bit with the symbolism with the butterfly. When we just saw this Abby figure being a caterpillar, butterflies come from caterpillars as well. So this is, I'm assuming, supposed to be maybe
news to me.
Maybe Abby's parents, and that is Abby kind of coming back into their life in some way, shape, and or form. It's not overly explained what it means, but the themes are there. You know, pieces are kind of put into place a little bit. The next video is our longest yet. So happy I got it, but it's okay because most of it's just running simulator. So the last video here is called The Man in the Tower. And basically we start off with our, I don't know, pro tag, if you will. And they kind of just wake up in their bedroom, and the first thing they see is that their door is open. And they're like, I closed my bedroom door last night. Why is it open? They go and they look downstairs and they're like, no one's home. And they also make a reference to what Doug said before. They're like, it smells like burnt matches up in here. So that's a theme, I guess, that kind of keeps happening. So this video is really long, but there's not a lot of substance up until you get to the end of the video. So as they're looking down the stairs, they're like, no one's home. It's just me. As they make their way back down the stairs, there's text that comes up and they say, this is no longer my home. And they're wandering through the house and they see like this real small, thin doorway. They're kind of hesitant, it seems like, to go in it. They're checking like a bunch of other doorways before they go there. They even go back upstairs where we see that like the closet is like tied off, so like nothing could get in it. I'm assuming because, in like the first episode, it's like, want to meet my friend? He lives in the closet. His name's not R. Kelly though.
Jesus.
And so he's got it tied off so nothing can get him through the closet. They had the chair up usually against the door. So at this point they're like, fuck it, YOLO, let's go. So they start exploring. They go through the thin door. They start exploring around the house. We get to they're going through a bunch of places that don't look familiar. As time goes on, they do start to look familiar. Like there's a portion when he walks by a room and he's like, I know this room. And it's just like a red chair, just like against a window. He's walked by this room before, but it's not until they enter the room where they're like, this looks familiar. I believe there's a callback to in Doug's video where they go into the house without windows, where Doug mentioned that there's the table and chairs up on the ceiling and there's that drawn-in door. Now the door is actually physically there, and the what do you want to call it? Crawl space, vent or whatever that they originally entered in through in that house without doors, that's there too. So they go into that door that isn't supposed to be there. And they're just kind of exploring this area. They're going about a little bit more frantic. You kind of get that sense that they feel a little lost in this house too, which I think harkens back to them saying, this isn't my house anymore. They don't feel like they're comfortable here. They then start to hear clutterings about. They turn around after going up a couple hallways. They turn around, they see like lights like switching on and off, and they just start fucking booking it. And then we have, I would say, roughly like 15 minutes of just running around. There's not a whole lot that happens at this point up until like the 12-13 minute mark, I would say, where you do get while they're running, you do see what's chasing them a little bit. You see this like one tall figure that's chasing them. It's kind of obscured in the darkness. You get another figure. They're being chased by two figures, it seems. At least that's what it seemed to me. I don't know how accurate that is, but
you're right. It's like the floating head and then the tall thing.
Yeah, you get the floating head. Yeah, and then tall, muscly man. And they're chasing him around. As he's going through, our protagonist is saying things like, "Oh, the wall's changing. The walls are changing. You know, this wasn't here before." He walks into another room and he's like, "I've seen this room before." And it's weird things where like as he's running around thinking he's getting lost, he's ending up kind of back in the same place he was. Like for example, he runs past this room that has a balcony to another room which shouldn't be there, and like 5 minutes later of him running through this whole maze, he takes a corner and he's in that balcony room. And he's like, I know where I'm at. I've been here before. And he looks down, and that's where he was just running away from. So he's kind of going around in circles a little bit, unintentionally. And obviously, it's a bit jarring to our protagonist here. It ends on a weird note.
They're done. Just it ends.
It ends. No, so they're being chased by the like the floating head guy. Around like the 15-minute mark is when you see that there was actually two things chasing him. That's when you see the giant muscly man just kind of walk into frame. It's creepy as shit. But you don't understand that he's being chased by two figures until like this moment. That's when you're just like, oh fuck. Now what do we do? So we draw a bit closer to the end here. Our protagonist runs up this flight of stairs. As they get up this flight of stairs, they're looking around like they're like, where the fuck do I go? Where the fuck do I hide? And they turn to go to this one room. And you see like this bed frame, and you see this open closet door, and it's really subtle. It's really subtle, but in that closet door, you see a noose hanging there. And you see like a ball on the ground, things like that. It pans over to this like the door frame, and on the door frame you see like height markings, like what you do for your kid when you want to measure how tall they're getting over the years. And it says David, and it has like dates next to it. This all takes place apparently potentially in the 80s. It starts at like 82 or something like that, and it goes up to like 87.
not potentially.
Yeah, potentially.
It's right there.
It starts in the dates that are.
Well, I just mean like well, you don't know how much time has
clearly. It's probably a little past that.
That's what I'm saying. You don't know how much time has passed.
January 11th, probably from 80, like early 80s up through 86.
Early 80s to late
88. The last one says 88.
Yeah, but we don't know how much time has passed for this because it's kind of like he's reminiscing about his childhood. In fact, he turns around and he goes into a bedroom, and he's like, "Oh, it's my bedroom." And he's kind of taken aback by it. He's like, "Oh," he's like going around. He's like, "Oh, nothing's changed. This is great." He got a little stuffed animal there. It's his bed. So for all I know, this person's an adult now, and they're just back in their childhood home. So that's what I'm saying. Who knows when this takes place? For all we know, this shit that's happening right now took place now. I don't know. But anyway,
we don't know when the timeline lines up when the footage happens because we don't have this like date marker to come back on in all of these videos. Yeah.
So our protagonist starts hearing something wandering around outside, like it's coming closer to him, and it sounds creepy as all fuck. It's making this like low gurgly type of voice. You can't really understand what it's saying, but obviously David ain't having any of it. I'm calling him David now because obviously it's David. We see his measurements and shit. So he hears this thing coming. He immediately closes the door to his room. He hits the lights, and he runs and he hides in the closet. And it's all dark, and that's when we kind of hear this thing like dredging its way closer and closer. And that's when even you get prompted, unfortunately, with what's being said. But as David's sitting in this closet, you hear David, like in this weird like undertone. It's very creepy, and even pops up I believe on the subtitles of the video, I believe. If it doesn't at this point, it gets pretty obvious that's what this thing's saying.
Because it's red.
Yeah. And then the lights turn on and David looks up with the camera, and the creepy thing from the first video that we've seen that was hiding in the closet is just staring him down. And it goes, David? And that's where all this ends. Now, a couple things I want to point out. First and foremost, real quick, something I thought was odd was when he goes to hide into the closet, there's like a makeshift bed in there already. Like there's blankets, there's a pillow on the ground, there's like I think like a lantern or something there. So it's like David's done this before or something's done this before. Secondly, something I forgot to bring up in my last video, but those like Muppet Big Bird things that we've seen in that video, this creature thing that is like haunting him a little bit, that just said his name and walked in on him into the closet, and also we see in the first video, kind of look similar to the bird things in the You've Come Back video. Like it's got the same type of legs. It's just like it's a more demented, fucked up version of that big bird creature. So I'm assuming something's related there. But that's where this ends now, is just this horror just opens up the closet and just says David. We don't know what happens to David. We're gonna have to find out. We don't know yet.
I think it's pretty clear here too that the series probably isn't done yet. They're probably going to have more videos. Their uploads are super sporadic, like months and months in between uploads. It was this last video I think was uploaded.
Takes an eternity to make these videos.
Right.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, if it's just one dude, which I'm pretty sure it is, I mean, the graphics are really good. It's all 3D, modeled. It's not like, I don't know. I can see it taking a while for one person to do all this. It makes sense. The voice acting is good. The graphics are great. The story is interesting enough to like keep you going, even though the videos are like at most, 1 to 2 minutes long. But then you get a 20-minute video like this, and you understand why there's like a 7-month gap in between videos or whatever. Right. So obviously there's probably a lot more to come out. There's a lot more to be answered. There's a lot more questions than there are answers at the moment. I think all in all, I think it's a lot of fun.
This definitely, the story so far, I think definitely does what I think a lot of either unfiction or analog horrors do, where it's just like, let's talk about childhood trauma, ladies and gentlemen. And they just go with it. A lot of childhood trauma. I mean, the fact that I'm pretty confident that the house without windows and whatnot is his childhood home. The house without windows, I think, is just a reference to probably the parents boarding up the doors and windows from whatever was trying to break in. I think you said before you didn't know what the blood meant. I got a theory real quick if we want to dive into theories real fast.
I mean, if you got something to say,
boys.
First off, I think that was like whoever that person in the point of view that we were watching, it's either the mom or the dad point of view. And I think they got killed. I think that was them wounded and they're bleeding out and
that's
dying.
What I think too.
I think that's what that was supposed to be.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I also think the later like third of the series is from the perspective of a grown-up Abby.
No, because he looks at the David part and he says, I used to be so short.
Yeah, the monster also calls him by name.
Yeah.
Oh,
unless maybe it's unless maybe it's a transitioning thing. They transition from being an Abby to a David, caterpillar to butterfly. It could be a metaphor for transitioning.
Oh, damn. That's actually really insightful.
That's fair. That is something that could be a possibility.
I want to argue with you, but I can't. I'm not finding anything I can latch onto to be like, nah, you're wrong.
I got no threads.
The only thing would be like the notches do still say David, but it
would be David turning into Abby. It would have to be.
Right.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that disproves that is because yes, there's a lot of symbolism going on, but I think it's pretty clear that David at some point is looking for Abby. I think it's kind of well established in some of the the earlier stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure though.
It also seems like an unnecessary detail.
Yeah. We also don't know if there's a mom involved. Like, so if we can assume that David is the father of Abby, we don't have a mom figure yet, I guess, right? Technically.
See, I assumed David was like brother.
Yeah, that's how I interpreted it. I thought David was Abby's older brother, and the two monsters, both of the two different monsters and the birds that we see in the
I just don't understand how that would be possible. If the only problem with that is that it's pretty well established that the dad died when he was younger. So there's no way that, well, I guess unless there's a new dad for David somewhere along the lines, and he has now a sister
heard
or
anything
whatever.
about that.
That's the only thing. There's a lot of questions here. There's a lot of who's who.
It's vague.
What would that have to do with it being the mom and dad, though?
Well, I was saying that if David is the dad of Abby, we don't know who the mom is. But if Matt was saying, like, if they're brother and sister, I feel like that would be confusing because it's been established that their dad passed away and they moved out of that house when that happened. But if that's the case, then if we're taking it for what it is, then it would be like a year after or something like that.
I mean,
because
yeah,
it's a baby, right?
There could also be a gap because, like, I mean, we see David's notches of him growing. There's like 6 years worth of growth there.
David could be an adult as he's experiencing this childhood trauma thing.
Yeah,
that is the one thing I do think is the later parts are. It's like years and years have happened between
I agree.
The first few videos, the first 4 of them, well, 3 if you don't count the VHS thing, because it's all about these things that like live, and it's about experiencing them for the first time, and all of a sudden we get a video saying like, "Hey, I found this fucking house."
Yeah.
You know, like, something I thought,
like Mike was saying, the bed in the closet kind of implies that somebody has been here before, but it's possible that it's David who has been here before, and he's just stuck in this loop of childhood trauma, and so he is an adult, but he can't let this go. So it's like he's re-experiencing it as if he's a child because he's never mentally moved on.
I also think that's
very fair, actually.
I also think the stuff in the closet, because like earlier on in some of the videos, you hear like, I don't know, Jason said it was like a mailman milking you or whatever he said. You hear these weird sounds. I think those weird sounds might have been like the mom and dad having a domestic, and the bed in the closet was David's safe place where he went to hide to feel more safe. That's what I got from it.
It's quite
the
possible.
Monsters could be his imaginary friends or something, you know?
Yeah, I think everybody's dead. So it's quite possible that, like, because we see the noose and everything, like, it's quite possible the dad snapped, killed his mom and Abby, and then hung himself. And
Chris Benoit.
And he was hiding in the closet. Like,
yeah,
maybe. I also had the thought too, where like I think, in that video where it's like, you see the crib, and that's where you first see like Starhead Man or Jester Man, whatever you want to call him. I think that was from the point of view of the mom, and she goes out to see what's going on. Jester Man's the dad. I think you're kind of onto something. Family Annihilator, dude killed the mom and kidnapped the baby, and that's why you get later on when he's in the graveyard with the baby, it's dead, and he's like, I don't recognize you anymore because he's been gone for so long.
No, I think she's dead. That he's going to the graveyard to visit her grave. Like,
yeah, that's kind of what
I think everyone but David is dead.
Too. Yeah.
That would make I could see that.
Well, I can't wait for a new video to come out to just confuse us even further.
Oh yeah, it's a new one's gonna come out and just be like, yeah, all of you are just 100% wrong.
It's actually about the power of friendship.
Dead? Who's dead?
This is about a family who is upset.
The rope in the closet is just to pull down the attic door. What the fuck? Somebody spilled grape juice. Jesus Christ.
I was going to say, the rope stands for the bond of loving family. What is wrong with
this? Is all just a big misunderstanding.
Yeah.
Got it.
Can I just say one thing about that like puppet episode? The visual effects on that and like just the 3D modeling they did and the animation itself is so good.
That's what I was saying.
Like,
Yeah, it looks like
killed
real.
it.
It looks like real life, like toys. It's very weird.
If
Also-
you go to the comments of that video, man, people are hard debating in there, like with some guy that was like doesn't know the difference between AI and like 3D modeling. It's pretty
God.
funny.
I also think
Yeah.
I think the reason that video looks the way it does is because it is centered around Abby, who is a small child. So it's themed around like a child's
Oh yeah.
TV show, like a Muppets or Sesame Street or something. And that's
As a
because
way
that's
to
what
process.
that's what Abby knows. So she comes back into this world as like a butterfly in this make believe land that is, bright and shinier to her than everybody else.
So our take is for sure that she's dead though, like got murdered.
Foch.
Okay. Because like if we're taking things at face value, right? Like if we're not trying to be like, all right, what's like we're taking a look at the picture and we're like, all right, this is what this means. We have to assume that pointy jester hat man kidnapped Abby and killed her.
I don't even know
And-
I don't even know if she died by murder or it was like an accidental thing.
Well,
That's
I don't
the
think
thing, they
there's anything.
specify.
Yeah, there's no real specification. I'm just kind of just assuming because it seems like David was afraid of this guy and knew that it was watching them because there's one point where you see a point of view from it outside of the house.
And that's what makes me think I don't think it's David in that point of view because every time we get David, he's through like the VHS lens, but those other ones are that weird like 90s point and click game perspective. So I think that I'm not trying to bite off Nightmind because I did watch his video, but I had that thought too, where the fact that it changes up how it's done and themed is because it's from someone else's point of view. I don't know who's. I'm thinking moms.
I agree with that. I wish I knew exactly what the jester guy represented. But that being said, again, if we're taking it at face value, I think we have to assume that David was a piece of shit, locked himself in a room when he knew something was watching the house. And he's like, "Fuck that baby."
Fuck
and
that
maybe
child.
there's
Fuck my little
there's a
sister.
bit of guilt happening because the
maybe
baby
that explains
died.
the bed in the the bed in the
dude.
closet. That was a hiding place. Who knows?
This now that we put it in this light, this reminds me so fucking hard of Boisvert or Boisvert.
Boisvert.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the fucking the super abstract trauma healing series. Like,
Yeah,
this reminds me of that heavily. Now that you put it like that, the only thing difference is there's no like giant grin toothed monsters, which I will say is something I do find refreshing in this series. It's not like the stereotypical analog horror faces that you see. One of them just looks like he dropped his ice cream cone. Like,
oh. Well, this is the direction that I think a lot more YouTube horror in general needs to go. This in the aspect of like Avita Carnus or something, where we're at that point with like Blender, where you can tell a story and make it look real enough to where it's believable. You know what I mean? And it doesn't look janky as all fuck.
I think
this is the way to go.
I think the medium is very cool. I want to see somebody do something really creative with it. I think these are super neat. I think the visuals here are super good. This stretches the format a bit, which is great, but I'm really tired of seeing backrooms stuff in this style, and I would really like to see something like Vita Carnus, like stretch
just
out into
there.
sci-fi or something like that.
Yes,
I was actually going to say
something different,
the same
something fresh.
thing, kind of. When you were saying you want to see more of this, I don't want to see more of this. I want to see more like original things, but in this style, which is exactly what Matt said. So
that's what I mean.
I think this backrooms kind of thing is, which this person started doing this stuff like 2 years ago, so we can't, it's hard to say stop doing this, but like, I don't want to see a whole lot more of this kind of stuff personally.
Which is, it sucks that there's such a especially for analog horror and this style of horror, and like I think Doug and I agree on this. I don't think this is actually an analog horror. It's more of an unfiction than anything, because it's not like a.
I think it's just
a
a story.
series of it's not a series of disjointed pieces of information that once you're done with it come together and form a story. Like it's literally just this happened then, this happened next, this happened then, years have passed, and now this happened, this happened, this happened. It's just telling of a story. And
Yeah, the only analog
that.
thing about this is the filter.
Yeah, that's it. That's
That they slap
100%
on
it.
And like the
And that's-
80s setting that I think is
Yeah.
nostalgia.
I think there's a
don't know.
big push for liminal things being really scary right now. And like just over the past couple of years, actually, I think I think the liminal space thing kind of hits like a nostalgic factor for people. It hits a fear factor for people, and it hits like a comfort factor for, people like us who do this all the time and just watch shit like this. Because you're like, oh, that's a liminal space. Something's about to be fucking creepy, and like we take comfort in knowing that like, okay, this is the kind of thing we want to see. But I also agree that maybe we need something new, scary that isn't just liminal spaces.
Also, the thing that's dragging it out is like this sort of aesthetic and stuff is super popular on TikTok now, and it's like the late 90s and early 2000s are like the 80s from when we were younger, where like nobody we grew up with remembers the 80s, but like when I was in high school, the 80s was cool, and so like people had like this nostalgia for this time period that they don't even remember, and it's the same sort of thing now where like older Gen Alpha kids and Gen Z kids are like nostalgic for this time period that
they know nothing about.
But it's even harder for it's even like more so with them though, because they didn't experience it, so they have this like uber romanticized version of it in their head. So they're nostalgic for this world that didn't even exist. Like they've cherry picked all of these like good things from the late 90s and 2000s and like made this fantastical world out of it.
They weren't there for the Crimea. They weren't there.
What?
They weren't there with the USSR got dismantled. Why were you?
Have you been waiting for this?
Where were you?
Like, I feel like this is like a weird.
They built that ladder to heaven.
When Seinfeld aired on television. Were you there for the four Toros? No. I was.
I need a good solid 10 to 15 minute mic rant. We haven't had
I saw Everybody Loves Raymond's pilot episode. You cannot talk to me, Gen Z. Deborah.
I remember when Robert was Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
Come back to us, guy who used to play games with us. Come back.
One thing I do want to note.
If you're still out there,
we're sorry.
Everybody loves you.
Please. Yeah.
The DLUTI apology video
and Raymond
soon. Don't worry. Damn it.
One thing I do want to say though, I know you were saying how like the whole like backrooms thing is kind of getting old. You want something new from this type of genre besides that. I agree, but I think the premise of it works here because the whole point is like this house is no longer familiar to this person, and it's kind of them diving into like trauma. Everything's literally turned upside down on them. I think that works. It doesn't get too over the top like a lot of backroom stuff does, where it's like you open a door and all of a sudden there's a giant cityscape and you're in an office room and it's like, now what? I was just in my den. It kind of stays
beaten off in McDonald's.
There's some
it's backrooms light for sure.
There's some portions where like in one of Jason's you see a doorway that just comes from the woods, but that's like a one-off.
Oh, it's in the middle of the woods. And again, it looks like the Monsters Inc. door. It's just a fucking door frame.
Yeah, but that's
that reminded me of 2H32, right? What was it called? Was that what it was?
Oh yeah, 2H32.
Door in the forest.
Yeah, but that's like that was like a one-off. That was a one-off thing. Other than that, besides things being like upside down or like doors where they don't belong, or like like balconies where they shouldn't be, weird things like that. It's not like it went too over the top like your typical backrooms thing does nowadays. So at least they're a little tame with it. But
it was again more House of Leaves than it was Backrooms, I think.
Yeah, but I do agree.
Mike, did you just lotion in the middle of that rant?
It's hand sandy. But I do agree. I would like to see this style, but in not Backrooms. Give me more handheld horror. in Blender, but just don't
I
make
want
it. It doesn't have to be accurate,
Magic
do something
School
else.
Bus animation horror.
That's the one, baby.
want.
That's the one. Give me the horror where they shrink into my body and the white blood cells attack them, and then Jimmy gets devoured
Hell
by
yeah.
a white blood cell,
Yeah,
and they have to leave.
absolutely. Oh,
Give me
shit,
that
I
shit.
want
I
Nick
would.
Frizzle inside of me.
I mean, who doesn't, Doug? You know that bitch has a giant purple strap on,
Like you,
Just like yours.
like mine. Hey,
boys.
Matt's like, what?
No, I'm looking at this video of the birds in the house and trying to make sense of the way the fur moves in my head.
Oh, dude, the fur is kind of creepy, but
I'm
Yeah.
not. I
there's
think
a
a
part
lot
with his
of it.
hand on the door.
I'm trying to figure out
and
if
I'm
it's like
like-
it's got to be like some sort of physics simulation, I guess, in like Blender or something. But like I can
Yeah,
see the
there's-
argument that people are making that it's possible that it's AI. I'm not going to accuse him of that, but like it's obviously not entirely AI. There's no way you could do that. But like
You can buy. I think it's kind of expensive, but like 5 or 6 years ago, there was that company that let out all those like super popular videos of like people dancing, but there's like one that's like a dude made of like confetti, and like the other one's like a sludge monster
Yeah.
man. They're all dancing, and like it's doing really good motion and like liquid sims and things like that. You could just buy those kind of simulations. You could buy that shit. It's probably expensive, but this guy is like in his own bio, he calls himself a 20-year-old VFX designer. So like he might just have all that shit because this is his passion.
Yeah.
You know, it's not above him, I don't think. When you're 20 and you got a hobby and you got no bills, you ain't got no rent, you can just sink all the money you want into that hobby. So
You're not wrong.
I think that's what happened there, because I also got like it's the way the brown bird opens the doorknob that gets me. It's
That's
the way
what
you
I've
see it
watched.
twists.
That's
Oh,
what I've
yeah.
watched repeatedly over and over again. Is like
Yeah, it's the way it
and
twists.
I've watched
and the
that-
feathers go
the,
with it.
the
and everything.
feathers disappear into the door slightly,
I
and
have
like,
watched this
I don't know,
in the
it's very weird.
reflection of Matt's glasses like twice now. And it's
It's for me. It's
It's
that
just-
shot of the fishbowl.
just in
That
his
shot
right
of the,
eye, but it's
that
there.
shot of the fishbowl. Really
But
gets
also
me.
in the shot of the fishbowl, if you look in the background, in the doorway, there's like it's supposed to be implying that the father is walking further into the room. But what's actually happening is like what visually is happening doesn't make any sense. And it's maybe just like draping, like the physics are just kind of draping the fur in, but it doesn't. It's very strange.
I still
the
think it looks
fur
good.
I've been
physics
that's
are-
what I've been doing this entire time that you guys have been talking. I've just been visually
The
inspecting.
fur physics. I
Yeah,
need to
you've
lock
been-
down an algorithm.
You've been myth
for the
busting
fur
the VFX. Well,
of
everybody,
specifically the fur.
yeah, that's been the first part of Obelisk, or not first part, but the bits that are here now.
It is
of
no,
Obelisk.
it's
It's been
first
all of
part because-
Obelisk.
Yeah.
so
Um,
far.
Tune in next week when we do 2 Obelisk, 2 Fobelisk. We're not gonna do that, but
I need you to stop promising things to people because we never follow through.
tune in next week when we do our booby review on Pornhub. Jason's are the
Oh, yeah,
best.
check out
We review the
look for our
fattest,
Pornhub channel.
the fattest
Yeah.
nipples we could find,
They're Jason's.
or longest, your choice.
They're also
There's a
Jason's.
poll.
I qualify.
be a poll.
There's a poll.
Do you want fattest or longest nipples on Pornhub? You tell us.
I want to go ahead and say, thank you for joining us, everybody. And if you see a dad out in the wild, go on, just give him the big old "How you doing there, bud?" and really get in there and shake his hand, and then give him the old "How you doing there, bud?" and really shake his dangle just right in there. And that's all I got for you, Jason. What do you got?
And okay, obviously stay paranoid, especially for this. Can we make the new handshake where you just go up and you just shake someone's dick?
I like
You
that.
just fucking
You
give it
just
a whole.
immediately
just-
talk.
Fucking jiggle it like
Oh,
there's change
yeah.
in their
Yeah.
pockets.
Well,
Yeah.
no, just hold, like open palm the entire thing, just the whole package, balls, shaft, everything, and just give
Jiggle,
it a
jiggle, jiggle,
nice
jiggle, jiggle,
big jostle. And I want you to make that the new hello. That's
Will
how you
Cindy
greet
go to
your
the prom
family
with me?
from now on?
Try again later.
Holy shit! I wonder if there's somebody who has gotten a magic 8-ball like dick
Well,
implant.
Maybe we'll call that the Tallahassee hello. When you just go in there, grip it on, you shake.
grab their grundle and yank it around.
Everyone, hashtag
Cool.
Tallahassee hello. Go get that trending. Go do it. Film it and then
Stay
send it to
paranoid
us
for
at
that.
DLUTI@gmail.com. Doug, what do you got?
Obviously slap your pins and beans together, but I kind of want us to like do a new thing. This came to me the other day where I was watching MXC.
Hell yeah.
And they're like,
hell yeah.
Don't get eliminated. And instead of that, we go, don't look under the internet.
Let's
sign off.
Can we? Okay, as long as we can superimpose fucking Vic Romano and Kenny Blankenship or Captain Tennille, one of the three.
Absolutely.
No, it can be us. Just I'm sorry, Moot, more work for you. At the end of every episode, just have the credits for what is it?
He's just not going to do it.
What is it?
Understand that, right?
Takuna's Castle or whatever that.
Takeshi's Castle.
Takeshi's Castle. Just have the end credits for Takeshi's Castle on the end of every episode.
If you have not seen the new season of that, I would actually recommend. It's really fucking good. And I kind of want to go back and watch the original show now that I know what it's about, because I never knew. I just saw MXC. But it's actually a really fucking good show.
Oh yeah, no, it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Mood, what do you got?
I really want to watch this video that's Harry Potter in Vietnam, like an AI. Fucking.
Oh, it ain't me.
Harry Potter goes to war in the 60s.
Harry
Potter and the
Rat
I gotta remember
or
stuff
whatever they're
on
called.
YouTube.
Harry Potter and the Napalm Incursion.
Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Mustard Gas.
Yeah, you heard it here, folks. That's what Matt wants you all to do. Go watch Harry Potter in Vietnam.
Yeah, Harry Potter in
Harry
Vietnam.
Potter gets trapped in a punji pit.
Yeah. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Have a day.
Goodbye. Go fuck yourself.
Is this poop?
Don't look under the internet.